Ladies and gentlemen, a little over a decade ago, a movie came out called An Inconvenient Truth. The movie went on to win Best Documentary at the Oscars, and more important, it shed the light on global warming. Of course, at the forefront of this film was former Vice President Al Gore. And while he didn't take office as president, as many feel that he should have, perhaps that was a blessing in disguise because it gave him the opportunity of spending so much of his time focusing in on the environment. Based on the success of the first film, wouldn't you know, a sequel had been in the works, and here it is, An Inconvenient Sequel, Truth to Power. Now, this film basically steps up and says, remember all that stuff I told you about in the first film and you guys thought I might have been a little crazy? Well, here's all the things that have happened since then. So right off the bat, my mind was blown with a lot of the different things that I saw in this film. Now, I also found that the whole climate change thing, it's definitely a hot button political issue. When the Republican Party is in office, it seems that not a lot happens in regards to climate change as opposed to when the Democrats are in office. And of course, as a former Democrat, Al Gore really does a good job of having this point brought across in his film. To me, it isn't necessarily, the focus for me in this film wasn't necessarily in terms of who was in power, but in terms of how right Al Gore and his colleagues have been about climate change and global warming. I feel that this is one of those issues that until things start falling from the sky, people probably aren't going to take as seriously as they should. This movie, this documentary, does a really good job of bringing those issues to the forefront. I don't consider myself to be a huge environmentalist. I mean, I play my part, just like I think most of us do. But I don't necessarily, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the biggest champion of the environment. That being said, I found this movie to be very entertaining. I found it to be very educational and very thought-provoking. Will it go on to do as well as the first one? Perhaps not, for the simple fact that the first one came and I think took a lot of people by surprise, whereas this one I think people know what they're getting into. And this film is pretty much just ripped from what's been happening, ripped from the headlines in terms of what's been happening in the world in the last little while. Very interesting film, very educational. I do recommend it. I give this movie a B. If you have the chance to get out and see An Inconvenient Sequel, let me know what you think. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.